Hello, my name is Alex Isles and welcome to the Great North Museum, Hancock. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at Bronze Age artifacts. Now, just before the Bronze Age, there's a short period called the Copper Age or the Chalcolithic. And when you have the Chalcolithic, there's where copper technology is used. Now, copper is only used for a very short time because it's quite a soft metal, wonderful red color to it, but it's very soft. And so with the addition of tin to the copper, you create bronze, which is a lot harder and enables the metals that we're so used to today to become commonplace. So metal takes over from stone as the main item for human beings that has continued right through to this day. Now when you have this, at the top left right here, labeled number 2, that is a little copper knife. And you can see right there the size of it. It's probably not very much useful, but at the same time, it would have been a wonderful reddish color that would have been used by that person and quite a lovely item in its own right. Following on from that, we come into the axes. So you can see flat axes across the top there that were used in the early part of the 2nd millennium BC. Underneath that, technology moves on and you come into what we would call the palstave axes. Now those palstave axes would be fixed onto a wooden haft. They would be used in farming and they would be used as day-to-day tools, but they would be beautiful colors of that rich golden color that we associate with bronze. Technology then moved on and we get the socketed axe heads, and these socketed axe heads were much more efficient. So rather than having to use more solid bronze in the method that we see with the palstaves, you could now create a cast. When you create that cast, you can mass produce it and then you can give it out to more people, and so that enables for a better use of farming, for creation of woodworking and all of those sort of things there as well. The interesting thing is that even though it's the Bronze Age, stone tools are still really important. And you can see these with the stone axe hammers here, which would have been used for agriculture, and they're the continuation of the stone tools that we see earlier on. So that would have been a very important tool, and you can see that with the flints here as well. With the Bronze Age though, we see warfare coming clearly into view, and this is where we start seeing weapons such as double-bladed knives, the more rapier type of sword and daggers that are more common in that period, and spearheads coming through. And because of the bronze, it's presumed that these would have been very ornate in their own way. You can imagine the golden color of the bronze on these weapons and on the Bronze Age warrior coming together, making an amazing display. And directly in front of us here, what is labeled number 30, this is actually a Bronze Age shield called the Trilby Shield from near Chester Street in County Durham. And when you have this amazing shield right here, that would have been fitted onto a wooden board. And when it's fitted onto a wooden board, it would have actually been used for battle. We imagine that these would have been ceremonial, but no, the soldier back then is far more ornate. He's actually gilded. It adds a ritual element to the warfare as well, with all of the bright colors. And you can see that almost continue on as we look over here with the swords and the spears. So these are Bronze Age swords found in different hoards right here. So when you've got these Bronze Age swords, they were deposited into the ground as a sort of, again, the continuation of the votive offerings I was talking about in a previous episode. And when you've got them as votive offerings, they were placed upright in the ground in a circular shape within the landscape. And when you have these here, you can imagine the bronze sword being used by a soldier and how it would have glinted in the daylight. And they're very impressive weapons. But next to them, almost more preferably to me, you have these amazing spears, number 30 and 31. And you've got to imagine this bronze spear being on a spear shaft and the person wielding it, and the size of them, they must have been incredibly impressive weapons wielded by a warrior, and combined with something like that shield that I showed you before, you can imagine the Bronze Age warrior being almost like a ritual character just as much as they are a fighting character. This person is showing off their strength, their wealth, and alongside that as well, the power that they wield, that they're able to import in enough bronze to make these weapons weapons, all on the battlefield. And so battle becomes much more of a ritualized thing than what we would understand today is, which is a much more mechanical form of conflict, whereas this is a ritual form of conflict, which would then continue into the Iron Age, and we see alongside that with the hill forts and the type of warfare that develops in the Celtic period with the chariots and the showing off that is so associated with the Celtic Gauls and the Britons, and that doesn't actually work out too well for them when they face a much more mechanical, industrialized army like the Romans later on. So I really hope you've enjoyed seeing some of this technology, from these amazing weapons here to the far more day-to-day practical tools that you can see on this side with the bronze axes and the Stone Age tools that have continued to be used right into the Bronze Age. As always, please do like and subscribe, share it with your friends, and I look forward to sharing more information with you in another episode in the future. If you would like to support me further, I do have a Patreon. But as always, thank you for watching, and stay safe and well.